Hi friends, today's video is very important for every singer out there because today I'm going to talk about how to prevent voice damage. This has become increasingly common among singers, both amateur and professional. And every time a student comes to me with a damaged voice and says, "Ma'am, please help me get back my voice. Please give me some vocal exercises," I feel really helpless. Because after a point, if your voice damage goes to a certain extent, you will need medical intervention first. So I often have that painful job of telling students that, hey, sorry, currently your voice is in a condition that requires medical help. So please get it treated first and only then we can do our vocal exercises. And that's why I always focus on preventing vocal damage. Because once the damage occurs, it becomes very difficult for me or any other voice teacher to help you. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to give you 5 important tips to preserve your voice and prevent damage. So please do stay till the end of this video because these 5 tips is something you're going to use each and every day, right? So stay with me. I'm Pratibha Sarathy and you're watching VoxGuru's YouTube series. If you enjoy our videos, please hit that subscribe button right away. It'll really motivate me and it'll make sure you don't miss out on any of our important videos. The first tip, which is most important, is sing within your range. Now for that, first of all, you have to know what your range is, right? How do you know what your range is? Now, in Carnatic music, the standard formula is you should sing in a shruti where you are able to reach the lower octave pa comfortably and the upper octave pa comfortably. So it is a 2 octave range that you should span. And in whichever shruti this 2 octave range is sounding comfortable or feeling comfortable, that should be your standard shruti for practice. Now if you are singing other styles of music like film music or you're singing with a karaoke, now there you might not have a tambura with you always, right? Because each song will be in a different pitch. Now this is where a lot of singers start damaging their voice. Because when we sing with karaoke, we are pretty much forced to sing on the original key. So karaoke singing I find to be one of the biggest sources of voice damage, especially if your voice is not similar to the voice of the original singer. If it is a similar voice, then by all means go ahead because you are not going to face much strain. But if your voice is like mine, which is very, very different from, let's say, Chitra Amma's voice or Janaki Amma's voice, it is very different. The range itself is very different. If I attempt those songs in the original key, definitely I will damage my voice. So that is why I don't do much of karaoke singing. I prefer to play the keyboard or something to give myself a backing so that I can choose to sing the song in my comfortable shruti. The second important tip for you is don't sing from your throat. I have spoken about this in many videos, the difference between throat singing and nabhi singing. Now when you sing from the nabhi, you're actually pushing your abdomen out and allowing more air to pass through, right? So you're increasing your breath support and that will help you generate more power in your singing. But if you don't engage your nabhi very consciously, what will happen? You will just take a very shallow breath and you will put all the pressure on your throat. So that is the reason a lot of strain happens because you are not giving yourself enough breath support. I meet a lot of singers who are just skipping that whole process of breathing, right? If I tell them to start singing, immediately they start, sorry, they just start singing immediately. There is no step of opening the mouth, taking that deep breath, pushing the abdomen out. That has to be a very conscious process when you're singing. Especially before you start, you have all the time in the world. You can happily take that deep breath, get ready to start singing. And even in between, when you are breaking in between the lines, that process of taking that gulp of air, pushing out your abdomen has to happen very fast. So this is one very physical practice that you have to do, of taking that deep breath and engaging your nabhi. So if you're able to do this, if you're able to generate a lot of power through your breath support, then automatically the pressure on your throat will get eliminated. A third important tip is never skip your daily warm-up. whether you are a beginner or an advanced singer, nobody is beyond warm-ups. Okay, nobody can say that, hey, I don't need to warm up my voice, I can sing anytime. Maybe there are a few gifted ones who can say that, but 99% of us need that healthy warm-up every day, at least for a good 15 minutes. So I have uploaded many videos about the different types of warm-ups, what should be your ideal warm-up routine and all of that. So please do explore my videos on vocal warm-ups. So your vocal warm-ups will be a mix of relaxation warm-ups, swara based warm-ups, akara based warm-ups. So the ultimate goal is to open up your voice in a gradual manner. That word gradual is important, because if you suddenly try to open up your voice by singing some super high notes or something like that, your voice will go into a state of shock, right? And that causes strain to the voice. So never shock your voice, right? Give it that predictable movement. That is why these vocal exercises are very systematic. You will go one note at a time, and that is very important for your voice physically. And it does not have anything to do with what level you are at. If you are at a higher level, you can make it more challenging. You can play around with different ragas. You can try, different patterns with that. But this concept of systematic movement has to be there. Now the fourth point is not just about singing, it is also for speaking. Stop shouting. Okay, that is definitely a golden rule for you to take care of your voice. Now, shouting happens in many situations. It's not just when you're angry, right? Sometimes when we talk to our friends also, we use a very loud and energetic voice. That can be damaging. If you are a child and if you do a lot of outdoor sports and you're yelling and screaming at your fellow teammates, that can be damaging. If you often go to noisy places and speak on the top of your voice, that can be damaging. So there are so many ways in which this overall loud volume of speaking actually damages our throat. Okay, so you have to be very conscious how you are using your voice for speaking. Now this is something I have started working on for my own voice. I've started observing it very closely, and I have started finding certain opportunities to speak in a very low voice. Obviously I cannot do it in the important places, like when I have to shoot my videos or when I have to do an event. There I have to go all in. I have to have my full energy. I have to have my 100% emotion into that. But there are many other opportunities for us to conserve our voice. Not every conversation has to be with your 100% voice. Okay, so I'm now trying to consciously bring down my overall speaking voice so that I have more energy for singing. And the fifth point, of course, is hydration and voice rest. This is again a must for everyone. It is not that, only 4-5 hours of practice every day is going to make you a good singer. Sometimes you should know when to give voice rest. If your voice is already strained, it is already worked, some days you have had to talk a lot, because of which your voice has already gone into that state of fatigue. Give voice rest. It will do more good to you than practice, right? So for you to practice also, you have to have your voice in a well rested state. That's why I say, first of all, maintaining your voice in a good shape is important. Otherwise practicing itself becomes damaging, right? So always try to achieve that well rested voice, which is not too strained by either talking or singing. And if you have that kind of a voice, then singing becomes much more easy. You get to practice more things. You get to experiment different things that we are saying, and your voice cooperates beautifully. Okay, so voice rest and hydration, of course. So a lot of fluids, a lot of water. Make that also a part of your routine. Hope you enjoyed this video and will follow these 5 tips to prevent voice damage. There is so much for us to explore in music, so much for us to sing. So let us maintain our voice in good shape. Let us keep that as one of the top priority in our musical journey. So if you want to learn many more such exercises to train your voice and to take your singing to the next level, then come join my live voice culture course. I have an amazing program for you where we focus on every aspect of singing. So singing is actually a very complex task. It involves a lot of different things, right, from breath control to flexibility to agility, your voice tone, your resonance, your vocal registers. So many things for us to think about and to bring them all together. Okay, so it is quite a task for us to understand our own voice. So this is a great course where we will guide you to understand your voice better and to achieve your goals. So if you want to join us, just drop us a WhatsApp message. I've shared the number in the description. Just say hi to us. We will send you all the details. And if you want to explore some courses on the VoxGuru app, these are self-learning courses, so you can learn it at your own time and pace. So I've shared the link of the app also in the description. There are plenty of courses right from beginner to advanced levels. So please explore that as well, and I'll be eagerly waiting for that WhatsApp message from you. Take care and see you soon.